wondered to yourself, is oat milk the right milk choice for me? Hello, my successful and healthy earthlings. Mihaela Ragushia, naturopath and founder of the Natural Health Podcast. In this episode today, you're going to find out if you should be drinking oat milk or if you should be putting it in the bin. At the end of this episode, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join a health and success-oriented community by clicking below and joining a Natural Health newsletter. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell notification button if you're watching it on YouTube to be notified when amazing videos like this come out. Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we bring awareness of sustainable health in the business hustle space. Natural Health Podcast is perfect for the high-performing, business-minded individuals who want to work with the biochemistry to achieve success and optimal health. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for What Would I Do? In today's episode of Natural Health Podcast, we discuss this week's question. All questions are kept confidential, and I read them and answer them as if it was me. Hence why it's called What Would I Do? The information provided is not to be taken as advice and solely for information purposes only. I'm not here to cure, treat, or provide medical advice. I'm here to educate and inform you so you're able to take steps towards optimal health. Please discuss any medical issues with your healthcare professional. Let's get into today's question, right? Such an interesting question. Question I got is, I've moved away from cow milk and I'm in love with oat milk. What are your thoughts on oat milk? I love this question because every time I go to a cafe, I hear individuals saying, I'll have a latte with oat milk. And they're like, oh, I've got a healthy alternative. I'm having oat milk now. And I don't roll my eyes. I don't judge, but I just go, I wish someone was able to educate and inform these individuals if this was actually a healthy alternative for them. So there you kind of know my stance on oat milk, but just saying that. But let's go into it. Let's figure out what oat milk actually is. It is liquid carbohydrates. That's what oat milk is. So almond milk is liquid fat, and oat milk is liquid carbohydrates. So when you say healthier option, is that a healthier option for you? I don't know. Essentially, oat milk increases our blood sugar level. It goes up and down if we have that oat milk, especially if we're trying to control our blood sugar levels. This could be dangerous for some people. Most oat milk's ingredients are not the best. I look at them and I go, this is not good. Because one of the main ingredients usually is canola oil, high anti-inflammatory oil, which causes more havoc on our body and raises inflammation like crazy, right? In addition to that, I know I'm just giving you bad things, but hey, listen to this, take it with a grain of salt, understand and see if it's right for you. Okay, I'm just here to provide you information so you're able to make the choices that are right for you. And oat is a grain, and usually it's processed in factory with other grains. So therefore, there is a high chance that it may be contaminated with gluten, right? So individuals who have gluten intolerance or celiac, autoimmune diseases, want to be off gluten, oat milk is not the right choice for you. In addition to that, oats are highly sprayed with glyphosate and so forth and all these other things. And there's also a talk about, it's more ethically better to use oat milk than cow milk. I don't know the answer to that. Look into it, because at the moment, are oats killing our soil because they're used as a single crop with mass production? I don't know. There's something to look into. I believe so, but we can look into that further. But let's get some questions that you can ask yourself before you to help you make a decision, right? First question is why did you choose oat milk and not cow's milk, right? What was the decision behind it? Healthier how? You know, what was the decision behind it? Do you know the ingredients in your oat milk? And what I mean by that is the oat milk that you're drinking at the cafe, do you know what oat milk that is? Do you know the ingredients in that oat milk? The oat milk that you're having at home, do you know the ingredients in that oat milk, right? What are the ingredients? Can you pronounce them? I probably can't pronounce any of them, but can you pronounce them? And in addition to that, do you know what they do to your body? Are they helping you achieve your health goals? How much oat milk do you have? Do you only have it in a cup a day? Do you have a litre a day? How much oat milk do you have? And in addition to that, do you have any diseases, any inflammatory conditions? What is your current health condition like? Are you on any medications? Are you on any supplements? What's your body's overall health like, right? Are you allergic or intolerant to gluten? Intolerant to glyphosate? The other addition is what is your goal? What is your actual health goal, right? Because when you know your health goal, you'll be able to make a decision if oat milk is the right milk for you. So what is your actual health goal? Is the oat milk that you're drinking, is it gluten-free? Is it organic? Is it free from oils? Is it free from added sugar? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. So essentially the biggest question is, what is your health goal? And then, is this oat milk assisting you to reach your health goal? Let's say, for example, your goal is to lose weight, right? The question is oat milk helping you lose weight? That could be argued because, like I said previously, oat milk raises your insulin and it's liquid carbs, right? And it may be filled with sugars and potential toxins, which may be blocking your liver from functioning properly, which may be blocking from you to eliminate fats properly, right? So there's so many things that could be happening, stopping you to lose weight just by having oat milk, right? So this is where you need to ask yourself, is it helping me achieve my goal? What would I do, right? Number one thing that I would do is, one, ask myself those questions, figure out what my health goal is, and if oat milk is part of that health goal, it's helping me to achieve it. Two is make my own milk. Yes, I know it's time consuming and so forth. If you don't have time to make your own milk, because when you're making your own milk, you know exactly what ingredients are in it. You know exactly where you sourced your ingredients from and how it's made, right? If you want to add something in there, you have the right, you have the knowledge, the power of what you've added in there, right? If making your own milk is out of the question, the other thing that you can do is ensure that the milk that you are buying, I'm not saying here to buy oat milk, I'm not saying not to buy it. But if you are buying oat milk, what I would do is ensure that it is organic, number one, because that reduces the chance of toxins in it, that it has no fillers, like carnitine, like we spoke about that in episode, I forgot what episode it was on the Natural Health podcast. You can have a look into it, what that does havoc to the gut microbiome. You want simple ingredients. You want no oils like canola oil, sunflower oil, and so forth. Why do you need oil in your milk? You want no sugar. Why do you want added sugar in your milk, right? And flavors and minerals. You don't need that. You want it as simple as possible, simple ingredients. So that is what I would do if I was making a choice of what milk I was going to be putting into my body. Asking, does this milk help me achieve my current health goal? Right? And it may change in 6 months. For 6 months, you might drink oat milk and then you may stop and you might change to something else, right? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself. Educate yourself and be aware, but also where you are going to have your coffee. If you are having coffee or anywhere else where milk is being used, or alternative milk, what are they using? Okay, are they using the cheap oat milks that are filled with fillers, preservatives, natural flavors, and filled with anti-inflammatory oils, or are they using oat milk that's homemade oat milk? Are they using oat milk that has good ingredients in there? But the question is oat milk the answer for you? That's something that you need to ask yourself. There are a number of concerns about oat milk that I've mentioned. So I would ensure, if I was choosing it, that it's gluten-free, organic, no fillers, simple ingredients, no added oil, no added sugars. And if it doesn't tick any of that, stay away from oat milk, because it actually may be causing you more damage. So there you have it. I hope I answered your question and I shed some light to your question on Natural Health Podcast. If you like what you heard, share this with your friends, help them out to make the right milk decisions so they can achieve their health goals. And if you want to join a health and success oriented community and get bonuses and specials sent straight into your inbox, click below and join the Natural Health newsletter, where people have received bonuses like 50% off products. They've received free consultations. They have received amazing free books and so forth, just by joining the Natural Health newsletter and being part of that absolutely amazing, health conscious and successful community. If you know someone, if you have a question, or you know someone has a question, feel free to contact me. Click the link below. There's a little form to fill out if you have questions. But there you have it. Thank you for joining us on Natural Health Podcast. Remember, the missing link between failure and success is your health. Content and information provided here is opinion of Mahela Ragoose and is for information purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is not intended to provide medical advice or take the place of medical advice or any current treatment you're undertaking. Consult your own medical professionals for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast. It is advised that you consult your doctor or healthcare professional in relation to any health concerns you may be having. Mahela Ragoose does not take responsibility for any health consequences which occur from a person listening, viewing, or reading this content. Under no circumstances circumstances shall the Natural Podcast, Mahalo Raghu's, any guests or contributors to the Natural Podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Mahalo Raghu's be responsible for damages arising from the information provided on the Natural Podcast. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical conditions in either yourself or others. Please note, if you're taking prescription, do not stop your medication or start a new protocol, including but not limited to supplements, diet, lifestyle changes without consulting a doctor or healthcare professional. If you or any person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical advice. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have read or heard on the Natural Podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. Neither Mahalo Raghu's nor the publisher of this content takes responsibility for the possible health consequences of any person or persons reading or listening or following the information in educational content.